water resources, Musa in Funtua. Honorable, we're here to hear from you the project which so far the ministry has executed in 7 years of this government, that is from 2015 to date. I will start by introducing yourself, and since you are in this position, your brief biodata.
Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. My name is Musa. My father is Adamu, a native of Hausa Fulani tribe, age of 50 plus. I'm a politician, and currently I have the privilege to serve as a supervising officer in charge of Ministry of Water Resources. Going by my education qualification, I go into different public administration by profession. At the same time, I'm a linguist and a historian. And I've been into politics for long. I'm a grassroots and practicing politician. At the same time, I'm into the system. It belong. Since the coming exception of this administration, I serve as a member of the State House Assembly, and I have the opportunity to serve in a different capacity as supervising officer. I serve as a commissioner of Rural and Social Ministry and Sport. I serve as a pioneer commissioner of Local Government and Chieftaincy, and I have the opportunity to serve as a commissioner of agriculture. And by this coming government, I have another privilege to serve as a commissioner of water resources, Katsina State. So, gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, nothing new for me in the system of Katsina State. By the grace of Almighty Allah, I have the privilege to serve as elected and appointed. So I'm a true picture of what is going on in Katsina State. So serving to people is serving to Almighty Allah. What we are talking about this inception of this administration, about the water sector in generally, this government has a title of something of the restoration agenda as one of the focal policy and cardinal principle of the government. Nobody will deny the man in the top, Adamu Bello Masari, as a waterman. He breathed his life as a from a water family. So nothing new for him. The history of Katsina State, back to inception of 1987, is all the yardstick that you can ginger. No administration in Katsina State, each administration came in time. It usually deal with the immediate problem and the immediate solution. But let me make it clear for you. Restoration agenda in Katsina State under Adamu Bello Masari is a true reality. It worked successfully. It brought about, it did about today, tomorrow, and yesterday, which water has future in life. The water sector has future. People of Katsina has future in the water sector in Katsina State. Seeing is believing. Yearly under review, dated from 2015 to date, there are an overspending of recurrent capital expenditure of over 30-something billion on ground. At the same time, the result of the total overall of the sector is over 90%. This is a situation that we are talking about, something dated back 40 years above. It's a long journey. At the same time, when you are talking about the water sector, you have to categorize them. That is the urban water supply, the semi-urban water supply, and the rural water supply. All in all, this is the government take bull by horn, chip directly into this sector. Let me give you an example. The first initial contract given by this administration, dated back 2015, is the water sector, about the Ajiwa. This original design and capacity of Ajiwa is to bring out 50 million cubic water per day. That's the original capacity, and mainly for Katsina local government environment. Katsina, Mashi, Mani, by gravity, all Katsina local government. That's why in my statement I made mention of dated back 1987 is another dimension to the basic reality of what is Katsina today, because creation of state, where the local government turned to be a state capital, which is a long number of industrial institutions and a lot of things, and expansion and a lot of things. That's why I say when many administrations come on board, deal with immediate problem. Some of them deal with Rasa, some of them deal with semi-urban water, some of them just do a little touches in the water sector. Well, this administration go deeply, directly total restoration, or bring back the original capacity. If you are talking about total restoration, this administration did three things: expansion, renovation, and upgrade. That's what we did. And the plan of the government to bring the original capacity of the dams and to turn to be a regional water supply because in the expansion program, there are some areas which is due to the growing population of the town. Some of them there is no water, urban water sector didn't reach that stage. So as far as concerned, if I give you an example of what happened with a particular example of what I say, the first contract signed in Ajiwa is the renovation of the total capacity of the dam into original capacity, which give us about 7 contracts. All of them, there is a justification of spending public for that purpose. Let me give you an example, like up a motor, you thinking the plug has a problem, you award the contract for the quart of plug, when you open you came to realize that everything is totally damaged. The component of the electrical sector totally damaged, producing into low capacity not more than 11 million. The mechanical sector, it doesn't have enough capacity to produce up to 30%. The pumping machines and the pumping machines and the clarifier, that was the engine and the board, all of them they are operating into low capacity because of the old age and a lot of damages. So as far as when this machine came on board, contract after the contract, today, what is there in Ajiwa? It's reality. We restore back to original capacity of the Ajiwa Dam, which is it has the capacity to produce 50 million cubic water. At the same time, the expansion of the new treatment plant. That treatment plant, and there is a new generator. All the electrical components, they are branded new, highly competitive across the world. If you can't get to understand that most of the machines there are from Germany. KBS, everybody knows them. It's one of the companies that compete across the world. You know the problem and the challenges. Most of the challenges of any component of the water equipment is not something where you go for window shopping. You have to plan for it, you have to negotiate, you have to design for it, you have to send it to company, then the company will manufacture it. At the same time, it cannot manufacture anything unless you give financial commitments. At the same time, it's fluctuating based on the dollar. So as far as I'm concerned, the government.
What is the position of the project now?
Let me tell you something. Ajiwa, I give you in a different category. I told you the electrical component over 3.something billion. The mechanical component over 4.something billion. Civil and expansion of the new contract, new generators, and the booster itself. So Ajiwa, it goes about billions of naira, which is when you go there, seeing is believing. And we have ongoing projects today.
What is the position of the project?
I'm coming. The position of the project, I categorize the first initial electrical component is 100%. The civil work is 100%. The electrical component, all the equipment needed to complete the project, materials on ground, 100% on ground. The type and the nature of the work is over 90%. We have only 2 existing new contracts which are new in the Ajiwa. The spillway and the extension of the dam. Currently we have 2 new treatment plants. We have all the treatment plants and the machines are true. The new treatment plant under construction, which is about 92% or about 62%. All the machines, transformers, mains are on ground waiting for installation. At the same time, the contract with the clarifier, which is the heart, today is 100%, 95%. When you take the electrical component, the new generators that they have the capacity of over 2,100 megawatts to around 100% completed. So as far as the new contract that are again exist, expansion and renovations, all the filtered machines like chemical dosing machines, all of them they are branded new. So as far as I'm concerned, the contract that existing is that of the contract that dealing with the expansion of the dam itself, which is the spillway, the bridge, which is we award the contract, they are about to take over the site but it will not touch the operation because there is a new treatment plan. Simple, the manifest of the restoration agenda, the cardinal policy principle of this UNVEILED administration is for not today, is for today and tomorrow, for future use. That's why my statement I made mention, saying Katsina people have future and water sector. So the other thing is electrical component. You know the kind of machines that on ground. If the light is very high, it cannot produce. If it's very low, it cannot produce. That's why injection substation is there on ground. The administration approved of injection substation, which almost 75%. So as far as I'm concerned, the whole bulk of the component of Ajiwa today, the electromechanic, the civil, the extension, the things, that's why we can rate it to 90% overall. Currently, as per last week, we can call it 95. The new ones is a contract which will expand the dam. It will need to treatment plant. Mainly, it will produce more than that 50 million cubic water, maybe 75 million cubic water future, which it will serve as a regional water supply. So, gentlemen, we are talking to Ajiwa. That's why you are talking about the production capacity. We have to come on board to talk about the booster. that is the one that will boost the water and supply the water, to pump the water directly. There's two components there. One, there's an agreement between federal government and state government on the completion of Zobe Dam. That which the federal government take the original capacity of Zobe Dam, it has a capacity to produce 125 million cubic water. In the reality, it has to go to Reduce Amma, to go to Kapian Soli, Charanchi, and the Emperor. Phase 1B, which currently we engage a consultant who are based on the agreement. The boosters today, the type of booster that we have today in Katsina is a branded new booster. It has 3 machine working, 3 standby, 1 generator working standby. At the same time, the electrical machines that will pump water is 100% new. So as I'm talking to you, we have the new booster that have the capacity. There's a interconnection between that of the water that come from the that Kankara reservoir along Katsina Polytechnic, and some of the water will go to Biadus Amma, and some of them there is a booster in Sanni that will pump the water. By gravity, it can go to up to Army Barrack. But in a situation where the consumptions are growing, lane of pipeline extension is growing, you need to boost the water. But today, the booster that part of the agreement of the Katsina State government, there is interconnection, which is go along down that water directly to Rapinda Bitanki, which is 100% connected now. What we are taking to right now, that is the by-production now. Water coming from the Katsina and Emberons. The AGU has already produced 50 million cubic water. The Duz Amma, the Zobe, it giving for about 20 something go to Duz Amma. For that something get to commit to Katsina. Currently, Katsina and the Emberons, by gravity and by Boston, we have the capacity to produce about 75 million cubic water to the Katsina and Emberons. We have the challenges, and we identify the challenges. Today, there is a sound expansion. There is a reduction of the files, and there is a extension of the new, because of the growing number of the city, due to the growing number of the city. So as far as I'm concerned, the things that can produce the water, the thing will produce the water are reality. Now where we are heading to is distribution and expansion program and reticulation of the files. The same scenario, what is there in Katsina, is the same scenario in Funtua, is the same scenario in Dusaba, is the same scenario in Mulamfashi, is the same scenario in Daura and Embera, due to the large number of Tangra and then Jibia. That's where the overall water supply. We have packet treatment plant that in Jibia, in treatment plant that in Mashi, and this place, Mudusi, is a packet treatment plant. Government produce chemical and reagent, that supplies diesel and other things for the production. There's a federal government contract, the Compra project that of Zobe, which is Daura has a dealing water, the raw water is on ground, which massive machines are using, which even last 2 weeks we government produced another 10. Currently, Daura, due to expansion program, renovation, the generators are on ground. They are fully now on the process of the branded new and renovating other one, pumping submersible pump machines that will bring the water. We have about 25 on ground. And there is a water, the Paragon project that of Sub-K is there. It's producing about 4,000 plus, about 5,000 kilowatt water, which the system is going with the solar and final and at the same time there's a generator which is the government complement. Mainly are going to Daura. So as far as I'm concerned, what I'm saying, the state government take over the project and they are doing it, they're operating very well. At the same time, when you come to Jibia, the treatment plant in Jibia, a lot of pumping machine and generators are branded new, produced by the administration. When the same thing to Duz Amma, you go to all treatment plant in Duz Amma, it's a branded new machine, branded new laboratory. All the equipment, their generators are branded new produced by this administration. When you touch about the Mulamfashi is an empty dam, dry dam, where nothing is there on ground. But this administration, when it come on board, it budgeted which amount of money today. Mulamfashi project is reality. It has a capacity to produce about 10 million cubic water, which is the expansion for the treatment water, expansion of the new cold room, everything of regular system and all that is they are branded new. So it's a contract of over 3.something billion that in Mulamfashi, and today it's reality. And the total capacity of the packet of the treatment plant is not 4,500 million cubic water, which we engage a consultant, we engage a company in order to produce 9,000 million cubic water per day for Mulamfashi and Emboros, which Mulamfashi is a program and this result. When you touch the Funtua, we have 2 dams. That dams, there is an old treatment of Mulamfashi, or old treatment of Funtua, Merua, and the Gwegwai. Today, all the Gwegwai and the old treatments there is a branded new forms, branded new forms, branded new forms, branded new pumping machines, overhauling of total generators are producing water in that Funtua and Emborons. There is even complimentary from the senator serving the zone that he has done something there around the old treatment plant. So as far as concerned, in the lane and expansion program that I'm talking, we enjoy some of the contribution from the Federal Constituency House of Assembly members as a constituency project. They are connected. But let me tell you something. When we identify the governor, let me give you a typical example of Daura, Dunu, and other wards. State government expansion program has been done by this administration. Even last week we have one with commission. The same scenario in Katsina, peeling pipes, GRA, and other things. It's an expansion program. The same thing today. Step by water, Batagara, we connect Batagara as per last week. Batagara. And the same scenario when you expansion program. So then they will have a branded new project. That branded project of Nanja has a long history, and it's a project of magnitude that has a large component of the body. Large component in the sense that this is a kind of project that has a long time history. Today, after commitment of the government, engagement of the council due to challenges and nature whatsoever, the capacity of the production of the project going on Nanja is about 68%. At the same time, materials on ground for the finishing of the project, there are more than 95% on ground. We are targeting by February with everything. By God's grace, everything will be on. I'm coming. Nanja, the original contract of the project is 8.something billion, which government give 3.something billion as a takeoff. At the same time, there's arrangement of SPO. They have contract financing arrangement with the company. They will work. Then state government, each and every will contribute 172 million due to the nature of the environment. This is the original contract that yearly under review. Challenges in the contract due to terrain and the environment, the nature of the rock excavation, the nature of the drainage, a lot of things. The environment is totally being watershed. It's a waterlock. The dam, even the dams, even the stones that are there, they needed to. You have to do a heavy grouting, heavy excavation in order to reach the ground so that you have a very solid foundation. But today, the contract yearly under review. The state government has so far with the contract financing, the contract jack about getting to 16.something billion, which is the arrangement. There are a lot of things not captured from the original bill of the contract, which have been found out and been found that various committees, administrative committees and technical committee, project completion committee, project monitoring commission. We sit down as stakeholders. We sit down, we come out with modalities, which is today is reality, which is we see the light. At the same time, let me give you an example of something. All this venture that I'm taking to, all these contracts that are going on across the water sector, no any contractor or any state government is a good common. A typical example of Ajiwa, we are given a deposit. When you work, we will reduce our money. At the same time, it's a very good arrangement so that it will reduce a lot for the state government. We are doing the same things in Nigeria where they will work, they will produce a CB with a consultant and sit down to our welfare policy and other things, which is a contract of the new modern day-to-day contract finance, which has a lot of advantages for our state because of the financial commitment and challenges. Let me give you an example. All the projects, all the machines that contract given, if you are about to brought new machine, you have to keep deposit of 40%. When they're about, you have to get them another 30%. And there is another advantage. You have to take care of people for human resource development. We will take our civil servant. They will go there. Some of them they will be in Germany. Be trained to TOT. They will be trained. They come so that they operate the machine. And when they come for installation, the German company are still training our people there. So that's why I say this is the only administration that take bull by horn since reality yearly under review. Recurrent capital expenditure, there is over 37 billion, approaching about 40-something billion on ground, and we are seeing result. The challenge is that expansion, we capture some of the budget, and we have another way of dealing with international donors and the international monetary agencies that were like Subwatch program, which is a world which Katsina due to huge investment over 27 billion. We form part of the Subwatch program. Purposely, people are fires. Project for result. To connect the water with the people is a result. Engagement of the community is a result. That's where we are heading to now. The problem of the water sector under undeveloped section is being identified. All the dams, equipment are very much on ground. Heavy organization is blaming. Where we are heading is ratification and expansion, which we started briefly. And at the same time, we have it in the budget. We capture it in another Subwatch program, project for result, which people will see reality across the state.
It's a federal government project. What contribution has the state government given in which it has?
The agreement is the federal government and the state government will declare. The federal government will do the phase 1B, phase 1A to complete the site of the dam. At the same time, state government should be partner to take the phase 1B. That's the one that will go to do some other. At the same time, to make interconnection. With the interconnection that the water will come across inside the Katsina and Embro. That's why we'll give buzz and that will open that tank and interconnection with that concrete tank. so that will come on ground. And the second phase of the project, phase 1B, we are on it. We engage a consultant. We are about to process on awarding the contract. All the agreement between the federal government and state government, out of 100%, Katsina State have fulfilled 80% of it, which is reality. Interconnection, changing of new booster, the capacity that will boost the water, rectification of the concrete elevator, industrial tank, and that will lapidary tank. They are all on ground. At the same time, the engagement of the consultant towards, at the same time, the has been connected, the Obaya tank and that. Then we step down the water across the ambulance, which is part of the thing that we capture in the subwash program, and we are on it. So as far as I'm concerned, under this water sector, under UNVEILED administration, they have done their best, and they are seriously, things are on ground, see is believing. And now, what?
Musa Dam, have you done anything?
Yeah, Musa Dam, when it happened, we do this design. We do design. After on the process of doing that, there is an intervention from the member senator representing the project. They came to in, we give design, we do something, and we have some part of the budget, the expansion, because that's why it's renovation. And I tell you, the process of this government on this renovation is renovation, expansion, and renovation, expansion, and upgrading. So when the problem comes, the senator of the zone has done something that towards the renovation of the dam. When it becomes a problem, when it has a problem, the water engage the lane. Then the next thing, the design of the project is done by the state government, and we are willing to expand. We capture something on the budget. So it's part of our, that we put some of them in the Skook and some of them in the subwash program, purposely as a means of getting money to do something. So as far as concerned, what remains in Katsina now is distribution and expansion. That distribution because of the growing number of the city. And the expansion, and then the articulation of some of the pipe, they have been totally eradicated. Some of them, there has been make a building, they erect building on the pipeline. So as far as concerned, it's a teamwork. People own government, it's a public funds. There is need for commitment of the people to be reality, not selfish. At the same time, we identify, we start diverting some of the pipe, like in all GRA and other things, many things. We are doing it, and we are doing sensitization with sales quality to know, sensitizing people to know what they are doing is wrong. Now we engage a consultant, we get the original design, or where we are going to change the creation and expansion of the program. What will go and happen in Katsina is going to be in Daura, it's going to be in Jimbi, it's going to be in Dusama, it's going to be in Funtua, it's going to be in Molompash. That's the urban water sector that I'm talking. At the same time, the privilege given to us, what we see, it must be a collective and proper engagement of community. People will value it, they will know that it's a public fund. But reality is there is a justification of spending that money, which if you like, you can go and see. When you go, seeing is believer. And now, the remaining thing is minor, and there is a plan for that. And that thing, that's why we capture in the budget, we capture in subwash, a lot of things where we make this distribution and expansion. So it's a teamwork. As far as I'm concerned, what I will say, this thing with this administration and the incoming administrations, they have to continue. Water is life, life is wealth. It needs to be a proper commitment, and the people, they have to not be selfish, to make sure that they erect building. Because what we are saying, we have branded new booster now. We just test it. A lot of people are crying because it does go along many people's mind, because it has the original capacity to boost the water out 100%. So as far as I'm concerned, we are doing it now. My effort and my fear to do just for people, when we start, we don't want to operate it fully, because unless we are doing this expansion, so that it will challenge the water. And most of the all 5 lines that are on the ground, along the people where people erect building and all that, definitely when you we just set these people out of people cry, because it go people houses. Some of them, if you are closer, the 5, some of them they are vandalized or whatever, they will disturb your place. So as far as that's why I say it's a teamwork. People own government as a public fund. So there is need for teamwork and proper organizing, supporting the leaders, because nobody will bull Katsina. It's only people of Katsina will bull the people of Katsina State. If opposition is welcome, we need a meaningful opposition. By meaningful opposition is meaningful criticism. If you do meaningful opposition, it will be taught to correct something in ground. But that's where we believe in open door policy based on the system of the governor itself. He believes in open door policy, things are on ground. If you like to see, come and see. Yeah? If you like to see, come and see. I urge the people of good people of Katsina and the entire embarrass, even the wood polka, let them go and see today, the Agio today. We feel, let them go and see the booster today. Let them go and see what they're in the ground. Let them go and see what they're in Jibo. Let them go and see and Funtua and do some and other things. There's a lot of Mulim Pasha and Embra. And the process of new dams, go to see Danja is reality. Things are going very well. So you know there is a lot of turbulences and challenges across the corona, a lot of things, dollar inflation and whatsoever, oil But because of the wisdom and good health of the governor, this thing didn't affect this project. So as far as because when you give money, you deposit something, when the time comes, you give things are reality. So a lot of things that we are waiting, all the things that we order in collaboration with the contractor are 100% on ground. In the installation, we are more than 90%. So as far as concerned, there is a wisdom, there is Allah intervention on that process.
What do you expect from the APC administration at the end of its first, when you call the first tenure?
I don't say first. Well, you are right. But what I'm saying, Katsina people, like I say, this is a situation which go back to initial what I say. A lot of administration, when they came on board, they tried their best to do something. But in the situation, then there is a total overhaul, total upgrading, and expansion program. So there is a difference. Because seeing is believing, that's why I say go and see. There's a justification of spending public funds. But it needs to be continuity. It needs to be continuity. Because Katsina people are growing number of population, there is a function, there is an expansion, a lot of places and other things. So as far as I'm concerned, where we are heading to is project for result now. The project for result is the expansion, articulation, where we are heading to, which we start. I give you example in Daura, I give you in Katsina, I give you in Funtua, I give you in Mulumpashi. And as far as I'm concerned, currently we have two ways. Through the budgetary, through Skook, and through the subwash is a World Bank program, which we are going to do a lot on this issue. And right now, as I'm talking, we engage a consultant. We have the design, so we are on it.
There's three major projects which is ongoing in Katsina. That is the underpass of Kaura and the Kopopaya, the bridge and the flyover of GRA. Is it affecting you, your work?
Yeah, actually, if you do at some time, on the process of doing something that is like people have to create problem, and that problem we can is a welcome development because it's mainly something that will boost a new branded new Katsina. It affects us. It affects especially that of Kaura. It touches our main five, which as far as concerned, the same contractor we have been engaged and get another contract subcontracted, which they have done in collaboration with the water work. Some of them we get resolved, but actually we really suffer. Suffer in the sense that that's where we make a public announcement, we direct the water board to make sure that you do augment with water tanks and other things. At the same time, when the water comes, we try as possible. Well, at that time, even the one that coming from Zobi, when you go to that tank, you can only go to outside the town, sketch, not inside the town, because the main five that the water will coming down directly cannot go. But alhamdulillah, there's a progress now. We are about 45 to 50% solving the problem. What we are doing is if they touch here, all of them is a viable project. It's something needed. Because in the process of making Katsina great and branded new Katsina, you have to do some damage, and that damage is not deliberately damage, that's why in the side of government, we try all our possible to inform people this is a situation. And we do all our possible best. Sometimes we shut down here, we open there. We shut down here, we open there. We augment purposely to ease the tension on the people.
You mentioned local governments, but did you mention the dam which will serve Kankia, Charanchi, that times?
Which dam?
Do they have any dam which is serving?
Yeah, what our planning now is the new project that coming first 1B is one that will come to Rukapin Soli, Charanchi, Kankia, up to Katsina directly.
So that's from Zobi.
From Zobi. And another project is there is a plan for all this down to be all is a process plan by the governor. All of them there shall be regional water. The Ajiwa is going to supply Katsina and Emboran, the new local, all the local, because it has a capacity now. The Brandon Mashu and there is a pension of the water is available there, which is money. All these are Emborans. There is a plan to tap as a regional water supply. In Subcase, there is a Daura, that is a new submersible pump machine that I'm telling you right about 25, which is that no matter how Daura is growing, it has a capacity with all this new arrangement to sub Daura and Emboran. The same scenario when you take to Funtua, there is 2 dams. When you expansion this interconnection network that we are going to do is going to sub neighboring Funtua and Emborans. The same scenario, the Mulumpashi, the things we were down is something that produces about 10 million cubic water now in Mulumpashi. And the plan is in Mulumpashi and Emboran. All of them, the future plan of the governor is to make a regional water supply. And that's why he upgraded the original size of the dams, expansion of the dams, and the branded new mechanical, the machines that will boost the water. So there is a future for Katsina people in the water sector. And see its reality. All of them that I'm talking to, even in the night, in the midnight, go there when you see. That's why we keep the old treatment plan, documents, and we have the new plan, how we meet it and how it is today. And each and every day, I swear, if you go on this week, you get next week, you see another progress.